Oh. What are you doing and why are you doing it?
Someone fucking shot me, didn't they?
They did.
Sully's dad is disappointed.
My dad is watching you.
We really need the
Where's
coin.
the token of disappointment?
We need the token of disappointment.
Give me your wrist.
Wait.
No, I'm just kidding.
I smashed my bottle.
Okay.
Why use a
Oh!
token when there's
In
a
the
mop?
fire.
As another gout of fire moves up, but it doesn't have the same magical properties.
Pull out both my hand crossbows and
Yes.
bonus in
Gun.
action. The guy who shot me.
I love it. Go ahead and roll attacks for me.
13, 18 on the die.
Those both hit.
All
Roll
right.
some damage for me.
Do I get sneak attack because my guy's by them?
You do get sneak attack because your guy's by them.
Awesome.
And you're shooting at which one? The guy who shot you?
Yeah.
That is the guy at the top left.
Okay.
This guy here.
Okay. That's like D6 plus a D6 plus a D6. I'll have to work on
Very nice.
that. All right.
Big damage.
Big damage. Die. 5, 5, 5
yeah.
plus 5, 20 points of damage.
That's what I'm
Nice.
talking about.
Yeah.
As you crest
DPS.
up on the hill, like on that ledge, and
Yeah.
you face him with your blade drawn, zoom, zoom, you see him just get taken out and just fall and into the waters below, or
Square
the
up,
alley.
dead.
The
I
alley.
look at my drink and I go,
Oh, they have to.
yes. I needed that.
That is
Sweet.
knocked out. I absolutely love it. As your arrow, first one knocks him back a little bit, and as he goes to turn towards you, he sees another one, and that impales him also, and he falls all the way backwards. Bonus action, any movement.
I look at my drink sadly, and I notice it's broken, and I can't drink it.
Sure.
You see, like, looking up, like,
Really sad. Understood. Great, which will bring us to the top of the order. Our snake guys that are left are going to make some actions.
the ones over here or over there?
And the ones here first.
All right.
The ones here first. As Arrow Guy, who is now frightened. And what does that frighten look like? At the beginning of his turn or the end of your turn?
I believe he has to take his entire movement to get it, or his entire turn to get
Let
as
me
far
look at
away from me
Fred,
as
I got
possible.
I thought he couldn't run away from you.
No,
I know he's got to try to get
That's
away.
okay, I'll take a look at it. Frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within eyesight. The creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear.
Okay.
And as it almost in like, what's it when you're sleeping and you have sleep paralysis? You know, like when you're sleeping and you see like the thing next to your bed and you can't
Granny.
look at it. That's what he's doing right now. Like, he sees you and he's like, I'm not looking at it. I'm not looking at it. I'm not looking at it. Continues to attack the women and children below.
Yeah.
But
It's got disadvantage.
nope, it will only when it's attacking you.
Only when it's attacking
I'm so sorry. I'm
me.
so
Oh,
sorry.
no.
I've
Or
clicked.
within eyesight.
Yeah, it's if his fear is an eyesight.
Snakes have pretty straight vision.
But it's
Our vet,
our vet
it's
tech,
It's more
using
they're
ranged
periph.
attack.
They're
correct?
periph. I'm just curious. I gotta know about snakes, man. Let me know about snakes.
Is it using? It's using a ranged attack.
It is.
Am I within?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Striking distance.
Yes, you are
So-
within striking
For
distance.
Because I get attack of opportunity
Only when it
someone,
moves away from you.
when somebody uses a range attack. Is that still a fight?
No, they
No,
get
that's
disadvantage.
3.5.
That's only 3.5.
Yeah,
cool.
it would be like peripheral, but
It's
they wouldn't
very-
like if anybody that was like right here, kind of like a horse, you wouldn't be able to.
Sure
yeah.
enough, which is in my mind. Like
Blinds,
they're slits.
blinds.
They're looking at them. If you get in front of it,
Don't they see with their
Potentially.
noses, like their tongues?
for sure. But if these guys see with their eyes, good call.
Just looking in the air trying to aim.
Oh, shit, I mean, come on, get it work at all.
I believe rules is written line of sight is within reasonable
I think this is
area.
within reason. I think this is within reason.
Obscure.
I'm willing
Yes.
to have the conversation. I believe this is within reason. It's a snake. It's got tiny eyes. It's looking forward, not attacking you. If it were attacking you, it would be looking at you, and it would be thus have disadvantage. If you get in front of it by any chance, then you will be back in the disadvantage.
I'm scared.
he's in the evil zone.
Yeah, please do.
Just hopping on
Okay,
the
great.
brick.
Okay, as it releases an attack at disadvantage, at one of the people below, it's looking at Nico. as it is very excited. So it will be at disadvantage as it goes to attack this armored creature about to fight its person.
David, you can't kill a guest.
I have an 8 on the die and a 3 on the die. At disadvantage, the 3 will not hit. As an arrow skids across your armor and into the crowd, not affecting
The buckler's
anyone.
for, baby. Arrows.
Which brings us to the person directly in front of you, now blade drawn, kind of made of ethereal magic, almost like a summoned hex blade of sorts.
Cool.
You feel your body begin to get covered in a purpley kind of energy. As it says, now that I have you, I will never forget. And he goes in for an attack.
Okay, line of sight real quick.
Yep.
Yeah, if he's reasonably within sight that he can see, not hidden or obscured,
Sure.
he's within line of sight.
Sure. And by that definition, I go back to my definition of the snake having smaller eye
If
sockets.
you could do that, line of sight would be bullshit, and there would be no point to using a single fear spell. Period.
Well, then there's no reason to do it against snakes. And we're moving.
The GM is
And that was an absolute horse crap roll. Even at advantage, he misses his attack on you as his blade crashes against yours. As you guys are now pitted sword to sword in the middle of the crowd. The snake yells up, "Tell everyone to slaughter them!" As he turns back to the snake above. And the snake above begins to rattle his tail. And you begin to hear tail rattling, tail rattling, tail rattling, tail rattling, tail rattling. As you can tell that through this town, there are other snaky guys kind of stationed around, potentially wreaking havoc on all of the people in this area.
Really?
And then we have the snake back at the boat. Where Ben...
Boat snake.
I don't
Boat snake.
remember a snake at the boat.
Is it a water snake?
Yep,
I
the
don't
boat snake that you
But
guys
it's
are
the rock
currently
snake.
fighting that had the... he's not on the boat, he's on the rock, but he's near the boat.
Shot that rock.
Is that the
Shot
one that was going to step on the little girl?
And he was not the one who's going to step on the little girl.
Yeah,
It was
that was
random
right away.
person was going to step on the
That
little
was
girl. But he is in that same area vicinity.
And he was like, "Oh, this person's nice. I better hurt it."
See, I was imagining it was a big, smoky creature that was about to step on the I was imagining like a giant.
Nah, this was just like a burly man,
Sure.
kind of afraid of dying.
Like arms in the air, like
Afraid
Yeah.
of dying.
How
Kill
dare
the girl.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't know, man. It's a crowd.
You can't flush out that kind of character. We don't like him.
No justifying that.
There's no character
He's a
development that
giant
could save him.
bastard.
As the snake guy who had drawn again after being shot by Ben realigns and releases his arrow.
So everybody's like evacuating to the boats at
Correct.
this point, and he's
Uh,
like taking shots at the people.
Correct. Is what you see 30, maybe 10 to 30 feet behind the major crowd of people as you're kind of pulling up the rear. Maybe down this alleyway, you can see a
And
little
Ben's still like got all these foxes.
correct. And her bolts.
Reloading
You see one of them legs pulling. I love it so much. But you see him release an arrow at Ben, as he has a sword, but he has a bow now. Also.
The squirrels pull me away to die.
I was gonna say, can the squirrels do like
That is
reaction
a
of like
miss.
dive in front, take
So
damage?
I'm gonna. It missed so bad. It rolled a 3 on the die. We're gonna roll again for accidental damage on the individuals surrounding you.
Is she in the crowd?
She is not. I guess so. She's just arriving to the crowd, so I don't think just quite yet there. I think this is a good representation. Maybe have a couple more people surrounding. I think that's perfectly fine right there where it is. As it rolled an 18 on that accidental damage, and the squirrel fox up on the shoulder
Oh no.
gets hit and pinned to the wall behind you.
That's awful.
It's very awful. Which brings us to E. As you completely see this happen.
Who was it?
It was Foxy, the squirrel.
It was the
Number
father.
3.
was the dad.
It was my brother squirrel. Brother squirrel.
Foxy.
Papa
Brother
squirrel.
squirrel.
Mr.
All right. And this guy is terrible and awful and okay, great. I would like to I would like to use Dissonant Whispers against this terrible evil snake man.
Wonderful.
Snake man. Terrible snake man. And yes. I'm gonna do
Grasping Bind doesn't have any additional effect here, would it? With his
No, it's just load.
Okay, great.
yes. So I'm going to kill Snake Man with not much.
Well, it's 9 plus numbers, right?
It's 9 plus numbers, yeah, but
Not enough.
9 plus not enough. Oh, plus 4, 13.
Yeah, you need a 14.
Oh.
Unfortunately, as your Dissonant Whispers falls on his.
Yes.
Yeah. Bonus action move.
Fine. My bonus
And you
action.
still have some voice that you'd be able to use if you'd like.
I'm going to what? What did you say? He doesn't take half.
Distant Whispers, does it take half? Or
If it's an attack roll, it shouldn't take half.
Scoliosis and battle.
If it's a roll
Yeah.
on my side, it would take half. But I'll tell you in just a moment.
Okay.
Oh no, it's a wisdom saving
yeah, I
throw.
was
You
gonna
don't
say
make an
so. I
attack with
wasn't
him.
supposed to. Yeah. Oops. Sorry.
No, it's way okay. That's way okay.
All right.
I need to make a
Yeah.
wisdom saving throw.
Yes, you do.
I roll a 12 on the die, and they are not very wisdomy, so he only has a 13.
you needed a 12.
Oh, well, 12 on the die. Understood. I'm so sorry, but it is a save or suck, or does she get half?
Half damage.
Half damage. So
Half
roll your
damage.
3d6, ma'am.
Yes, I
Yeah.
And here I'm gonna
She has
use
advantage?
my
No,
loudness.
you have advantage.
On
3d6,
wisdom
9.
saving throws?
On saving
Nine.
throws against magic.
9.
Well, cool. Should save it. Appreciate you.
9.
9
Yeah.
points of damage. Is that halved already?
No.
Beautiful. And this one was already hit,
It dies.
and it dies. No,
Dies?
9 halved. No, it does not. It does not. If it was a 9, would have killed it.
But is it vulnerable to psychic damage?
It is not. Hilarious.
That's cute.
Eve, any bonus action movement?
Yes,
talking?
I'm totally gonna use my bonus action. My heal.
To cry.
What do you mean?
You can't cast 2 spells.
Oh,
Sorry.
shucks. You're right. You're right. I'm definitely not gonna use that bonus action.
So like this.
You can still cry.
I will cry mostly. That's yeah.
Brother Squirrel.
Darn, yeah. So, but I can't. Well, no, I can't do that either. Okay, I would like to move over to where little squirrel boy is and pull the arrow from him
Sure.
and hold him in my hand so that I'm next to
Oh, I
him.
love it.
An
Where
additional
is-
1 point of
Where
damage.
is E here?
You get to me?
Oh, E is over here.
I left the arrow in him. I just plucked the whole thing
Perfect.
from the wall, and so now I'm holding an arrow and a squirrel. I got a bonus weapon and my friend back.
Well,
I mean, I'm gonna just, we
Improv
gotta talk about what's gonna happen next.
anything additional? You plop him out. You don't get to know anything just yet.
Okay,
You plop him out. You now have him in your hand. Arrow sticking out. Sticking up?
I'm just holding
Perfect.
it. I'm not gonna let nothing go.
Smart ladies. That's when you're a vet. That's the stuff you do. Which brings us to Ben.
Okay. Just kind of taken aback by the squirrel flying off my shoulder into the wall.
As someone pushes you kind of sideways and
Yeah.
pulls through and gets to him.
I feel like I kind of noticed that, and I'm just like maybe hinting towards abilities to come. Ben is known to do the sort of necrotic shot. Of course, she doesn't have
Sure.
that at level 1, but I think that maybe there's like a sort of like that musty gold glint in her eyes. She's like,
Sure.
and she just kind of says to herself, "That was messed up," and she locks in to shoot him again.
Roll an attack for it.
As the squirrel pulls back.
With the same glare.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
same glare. All the squirrels look back.
Squirrels were gonna
look
be
forward
just
like,
your-
son of a gun.
They pull up like
Nice.
fur sleeves.
Yeah. Like, let's get him, guys. Okay. Oh, but we're not gonna hit probably. That's gonna be a 7.
7 does not hit.
That's okay.
What if it did?
Any bonus action
Oh, I could use my
movement.
inspiration for
You
this
could
session.
Absolutely re-roll that.
I think I
Yes.
will. I think that had enough.
Valiandor
That had a lot
powers
of-
I
activate.
love it.
Yeah, but it's gonna be
An
lower.
An
Here
inspiration
comes the
token
two.
or band
Yeah, right. Here comes-
will allow them to re-roll anything, either for them as a character, for one of their friends as a character, or a roll that the DM makes for a non-playable character.
Man, I could
Yeah.
have not taken my.
I normally
attack
wouldn't
before.
do that for something so small like this when somebody else can
Which
do it,
would've
but
been-
it feels like a story moment.
I was legit hoping that both of them did, and on your first, or that you did when you first got attacked, and I was like, I'm gonna get all of the bands.
All right. Okay, that's gonna be a
We're gonna-
19 or
Oh,
17 to hit.
yeah, roll damage.
Yeah, that's right.
Shoot him in the face.
Shoot him in the face.
Remember your
Shoot
sneak
him
attack
in the
that you
face.
have.
Shoot it. I don't have sneak attack.
I
Don't confuse
We're
me.
so early.
I rolled an 8.
An 8 damage. I love it. And if I could have a little bit of creativity here. So as you notice him fly off your shoulder and get pinned, and immediately you reach for your crossbow, you reload, you take aim, and you're kind of knocked off balance by this red-headed gnome, kind of heading in that direction. As you release your gun or your bow, like you're off angle, and one of the squirrels leaps off your arm,
Yes.
taps it, and it makes purchase with this creature, and the creature begins to like fall backwards, stand back upright, go to re-tight his bow, and collapse into the ground. And falls flat on this rock.
How are we gonna work into 4th level that Ben only fights with squirrels?
You just don't like being inside. That's what it was. So you guys, you can't take the squirrels into a manor. You know what I mean? You left them at the
Right.
joint.
I'm pretty sure that this is her thing now. I'm pretty sure.
Ben Bauer,
Pretty sure I'm
bonus
understanding.
action conversation. Did you do any of that?
I don't think I have really any bonus actions at level 1.
You have to lay
I
on
think
hands
I'm
to
just
heal the
gonna-
squirrel.
Any conversation you want to have?
action.
Any advice you want to give to people's around you? You have a little bit of speaking. You got your speaking, you got your movement, you got your action, your bonus action.
I think I would turn around to this lady back here, be like, "Is he okay? We have to get him to the ship." As I'm scooping up the squirrels,
wonderful.
continuing to like,
Yeah.
and I'm like in the corner, like talking to it, and I'm like, "Oh God, what?
Wonderful.
Who are you?"
As you turn around and begin to find and question what's going on, we'll zoom over to Cricket. As you see all of this kind of transpire in front of you, the structure behind you, which I believe you are still very curious about, is almost completely burnt down, and you see the lights that were fading and flickering are now completely solid and unending, with no kind of reverberation at all, just locked in place, unlike you've ever seen.
Seeing, like, so he's made contact with E and he sees Zixie. So he goes and grabs her loot
Sure.
and goes and takes it over where E is holding the squirrel.
Sure.
And puts the loot in her hand and holds the squirrel and casts Cure Wounds.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh my god! That's the best thing ever. That is the best thing ever.
That is an 8 on the dice plus 3 is 11 points to the squirrel.
It's gonna live forever.
Yeah.
Squirrel.
Squirrels are better than
And
ever.
and if the arrow is like wooden,
Yep.
I
it
feel
is.
he like, as part of the cure, he like crafts the wood out into it.
Oh, freaking
And like takes the arrow out of it and crafts it into an E.
Oh,
And then like there's
perfect.
this, if the squirrel comes back to life, it's like,
Oh, most definitely. It's exactly what happens. And a point of legitimate game inspiration.
yeah.
Nice.
Incredible. And
Legitimate.
holy crap. I love that so much. Anything additional that you think you would be able to do?
I would still be like, well, I'd still be like after doing all this, I'd still be like trying to get people to the boats.
to the boats.
Like whatever people are left, like indicating people need to
Sure.
like, get out
I would
there.
love to. There's a time where you see several satyrs and centaurs kind of clipping over in your direction.
Mhm.
And they're like, come on, we have to get back.
I'm just like, Oh wait, towards the veil.
That's where they're.
That's where they're heading
That's
and
where
everything.
that's where they're coming to encourage.
I just
you.
kind of ignore them and I'm like taking care of the squirrel.
Fudge, yeah, and they get that, and they kind of, all right, he's on a different path, and they kind of clamor to each other as they jumped off into the direction of the portal. Fantastic. As we head over to our fire pit, where Nicholas is located and next up to fight.
Yeah, we're gonna dunk on this dude.
Most definitely.
Take him down, man.
That's the plan.
And directly in front of you is this kind of sword, ethereal dude, clanking swords down the center. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna release pressure, fold over, slam down on the shoulder.
Love it.
See how
Attack
it
roll,
goes.
please.
13 plus numbers.
That's gonna hit.
Sick. How injured is this guy?
He doesn't look great, but he's not dead. But he doesn't look great. He super doesn't look great.
Okay, so he was
He's
he was
not
talking
dead
smack
yet.
to me earlier, right?
Yes.
So we're gonna smite him.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna smite him.
Wait, you are not level 1.
I'm
He's
not.
level 2.
I'm level
Ooh.
Someone else at the table is level 2 as well.
How'd I have him?
Yeah, be me.
It's not.
It's not you.
Alright, so 7 plus 3 is 10. Straight damage, and then 1. Oh, awesome. 3, 4 radiant damage.
How much is that total? 14 points of damage.
Nice.
Thanks,
As
good stuff.
and is it radiant energy that comes in? Does it look pretty standard, like bright lights kind of take over your blade, and or
Currently,
is it,
yes.
okay, fantastic.
Currently, yes.
Excellent. And you don't have Stitch, right?
No, just
Okay,
using
fantastic.
a standard
great.
great sword.
Okay, great. As you kind of you're matched up center to center, with your grip kind of off kilt here, so that you can apply a legitimate pressure.
Mhm.
As you feel the pressure coming down from his missed attack, you come over to the other side and slash all the way down. As it makes contact with his flesh, it stops by the scales,
Mhm.
and you begin to chant something. And your blade begins to get heavier and heavier and heavier, and bright light begin to encompass the blade as it slices through slowly all the way down to
Oh,
the
wow.
side.
Yeah.
As it drops, sliding on the
Mhm.
ground, flop, flop.
Perfect.
Badass. Bonus action movement?
What was that again?
Bonus action.
No, that's what I'm gonna say to the guy. What was that again? What did you say again?
Wonderful.
No, I'm gonna gesture for the people to get through
You
the.
goaded him into a one-on-one and then shit talked him. That's amazing.
Now I'm gonna gesture for the people to go through this now. Open uninhibited gate, and
Love
tell
it.
them to spit on him as they walk.
Perfect.
Say
Well,
what
you
it
didn't
is.
have to tell them that. They were already doing it. Can you get that gate open just for viewers? Oh, wonderful.
It opens the wrong way.
That's okay. I'll take it. As the gate is now opened, and you guys are able to start funneling individuals through. Now, they don't quite make it through. We'll get to that on this archer's turn if he does still exist on his turn. So we're going to go to E-Draw.
Yeah. So I got this snake guy right behind me. So I'm going to turn around.
Beautiful.
I'm going to face him. And I got this double-bladed scimitar. It's like
Cool.
two different swords on each ends of this long pole. I'm going to take 2 wackies at him.
So
Yeah.
understood.
Like a Darth Maul.
I like it.
So attack number 1. It's going to be a 14 to hit.
14 does hit. Meet it, beat it.
All right. And then attack number 2 will be a 9.
9 does not hit.
All right. So first one will be 11 points of damage.
Hell yeah!
Ooh.
Hell
Cool
yeah.
weapon, isn't it?
That
It is.
does a significant amount of damage to this creature. as it sinks in a little further into its snake, like where it has these scales along the front side and along the top kind of neck portion. There's no scales to the side. And as you kind of bait it and hit with the opposite side, you kind of cut deeper than you had intended, and you're unable to pull out for that second attack. And as you do, you see, goo and chunks kind of flop down to the ground as this thing kind of now is very cautious about its side. Any bonus action movement?
The bonus, the second attack was my bonus action.
Fudge, yeah, understood.
So I'm done.
Hells yeah. And that'll bring us to Cole. Upset that your drink is smashed, seeing this large snake creature go down directly in front of you, sliced in half actually, and then action up above, clink clink, and a wounded now snake creature.
Do I see any just laying bottles anywhere?
Roll a perception check for me, and not an action.
Okay, cool. 14 plus 6, I think.
There are a couple casks of ale. You see, there's somebody holding a wine bottle still in his hand, kind of not quite corked, but still relatively full.
I would like to take it from him.
And it's actually this guy here.
And throw it at the snake.
Have these people not started fleeing yet?
It takes a while.
They're trying. It's only 6
They're
seconds.
funneling through very
I take it
small-
from him.
Very small.
Yeah.
Give me that.
Love it.
I'll make a
Roll an
show.
attack for me.
A 2.
A 2 does not hit.
Smash the bottle.
Love it. Roll an attack for me.
14 plus 7.
That does hit.
21.
I love it.
Sneak attack?
No sneak attack. Your first bolt gave you away.
Well, sneak attack is just if an ally is within 5 feet.
Sure.
It's not
you're-
exactly sneak attack.
Exactly.
It's just the title of it's bad.
Sure, I totally understand. But if your first one landed, you would have been golden. Your second
But sneak
one,
attack doesn't matter which attack it is.
Sure, it does for this particular instance, which I allowed you to do 2 crossbow attacks simultaneously. Just go.
I had the ability to do
It
that.
does, but you do not get sneak attack. But it does.
Not that you need it.
You just like.
Because you'll probably die.
9 and 9 kills it.
Anyone else have alcohol?
You smashed your other bottle?
Yeah, you smashed it to throw it. Shoot the other bolt.
This is just a terrible day. Terrible day.
Anything additional, conversation-wise? Or
Anyone else have another bottle?
you hear just returned screamings and mutterings. But you do see some extra bottles scattered across the floor, back in the direction you came.
I start walking that way.
Towards the bottles?
Yeah.
Great. And you had about 20 feet left?
Yeah, probably. Right, I go over there.
Fantastico. Which brings us to E, over on the docks. As this gnomish creature that you have made friends with earlier comes over and rescues this fox squirrel. Fox squirrel now being placed back in your hand. And an E made out of the arrow itself in cursive, if I could have liberty with that.
My fox squirrel boy.
What would you like to do?
And where is Ben right now? She's still like right here, right?
You're right. Yep. In your
She's
same
still got,
vicinity.
she's still got my squirrel fam hanging with her.
Correct.
But she's like, you're running low on arrows. I'm worried about that. That like you're gonna be running out of arrows.
Am
in
I?
the quiver. I don't know. I'm a little
I'm
worried
okay.
about it. Okay, you're good.
Yeah.
Because my squirrel fam was like kind of looking like they were a little
Where are the
worried.
bolts?
Yeah, I was gonna have my squirrel fam help you out, but they're good. They're good. So I'm gonna
For flavor, I can be running out.
I mean, it was for flavor. It was
Oh, then
totally
I'm
for
running
flavor.
out.
It was, so I was gonna use my animal friendship, and talk to my squirrel fam and be like, and so I'm telling them like, yo guys, like go grab some stuff that we can use as like projectiles,
Oh, wow.
and fill her quiver and just hang with her and like, and then
100%.
I'm going to explain to you like, listen.
Oh.
There's family and squirrels you want by your side. They'll keep you safe and won't let your hide get tanned by those guys. Yeah, yeah. So,
Okay.
real bad.
I love it.
Okay.
So yeah, and that's what's up. And then the bad guy's dead. I'm just gonna move toward the water now and see if there's any boat that I can maybe fit on. See, I'm pulling Cricket with me.
Sure.
Like, hey, let's look and see if there's maybe a boat we can get on.
There
At this
is
point.
absolutely. There are several boats in
Sweet.
the particular dock that you guys are located at. There are several boats. This is like the main area. There's small rafts, bigger kind of boat sections. But so you kind of using your intelligence and thought process, you're filling the boats to the best of your ability. As people come up, you're like, all right, you 3 go to that one. There's a strong person who can row. You 6 go to that bigger one. And you guys find a raft that after the majority of people in your direct vicinity have boarded and begin to go, you see a raft kind of let alone that may be perfect for you.
Can we all 3 fit on it?
All 3 of you definitely
Sweet.
fit on it. Another
Awesome.
3 would fit on it also, just for your brain. Like as you're on there, you're like, it's a lot of room.
We'll get there shortly.
I can't think of anybody we'd want to be on.
Zooms out on the entire city. In
No,
between.
one seat for each squad.
That looks like
That's
3
so thoughtful
seats
of you,
full.
David. Yeah.
You guys are
Full wrap. Let's set sail.
So
but I would love if leaving is on the agenda, that's perfectly fine. They can find other rafts to get on. That's not your main concern. But your vicinity is cleared of people, and that is what you were concerned about. You could venture back into the town and find lost people being harassed. I don't know if that's something you want to do, but if you wanted to, you could do that,
I'm
or
shook.
you could board.
I'm shook because one of my squirrel boys just got hurt
Sure.
just a moment ago.
He
And
looks
so
different.
I'm
He looks different.
He does.
He looks yoked now.
yeah. So,
He's like squirrel.
He's absolutely ripped.
so,
I was gonna say it would have been cool if like the wood molded into
He's
like
now like the
armor.
hottest
Now he's
squirrel.
like
Full squirrel samurai.
totally.
The lady
So
squirrels.
I am a little sad that my squirrel boy got hurt. So I'm just gonna take my squirrel fam and my friends here to the safety of one of the rafts,
Sure.
just at least to kind of regroup and feel that we're not in the direct danger that we would be
Sure.
if we stayed on.
And I imagine you guys security in the direction of where the enemy could be going. So you're kind of
Yeah.
attentive there,
Yeah.
whatever your armaments are. You have that.
We're kind of and it's not an inflatable raft. So
But you know it's not inflatable.
No,
It's
pretty
made
good
of
there.
wood.
we're pretty good there.
Are you pushing off and getting set down to Silver Springs, or are you kind of sitting on the dock? Just curious. Kind of important. And feel free, you're no longer in combat. Feel free to have.
Oh, so
So
it's
we're
like
not
the
in-
3 of us?
No
Oh,
longer in combat.
So yeah.
Okay.
I'm scripted.
So like our raft.
All
is
right.
like-
Well, here's the question: what's happening with the structure? Is it officially collapsed at this
It
point?
is practically totally engulfed in flames.
So I
That's the
think.
best description I can give you from where you are.
Are
Okay.
there any kids still close by?
You do. Every kid that you guys have come in contact with is currently boarded a ship.
What's going on with the portal to the Fae? Is it closed down at
It
this
is
point?
completely open.
Still completely
Like-
open.
Like
Like my
stronger-
people have like gone through them.
If you don't, you would assume
Mhm.
if they were heading in that direction, they had no trouble getting back to the other side.
Mhm.
But you do know that like you can't see into the
Mhm.
woods where the portal is,
Mhm.
and the portal is stronger than you have ever seen it. There's no kind of wavering happening anymore. It's now a door.
Can we tell that he's from the like? Is there anything to
That's
suggest?
racist, but
He was always
No,
so
absolutely.
sparkly.
You probably saw me like come through and like set up
Okay.
everything as well.
From the Feywild.
He always said he was
Look,
sparkly.
sparkles are an export of the Feywild.
Sure.
They are not natural to the normal world.
Glitter is completely foreign export.
And like she's getting on the boat at this time and it's like
and
I'm like
pulling you from what I remember.
okay.
Oh.
I kind of like look back and like I feel like there's a look of despair as like I see like the thing collapsing.
Sure.
But then like I look back at her loot and she's like holding it and everything, whereas the sign of Zixi.
Sure.
So like I kind of grab the loot for a minute and like feel around it, and if I may take some liberty,
Sure.
I can actually shape the loot like it's a tree from where I came from.
Ooh.
And then like I kind of look at her, who still has like she probably has one of the squirrels on it. I'm like,
Many squirrels.
we have to protect her. She might be all we have left.
Okay.
I'm trying to protect you guys.
Is I think she's okay. Are you okay?
So we're kind of like on the boat, but I'm still like kind of looking back towards if anything else is going to head our way, or if there's
100%.
anything heading that way.
Excellent.
Okay.
Anything-
And if you're buying in on that, Ben.
On protecting her? Yeah, I'm good to leave and protect everyone.
Cool.
I think I'm
believe
just
that-
ushering squirrels.
I believe a push off. After the squirrels have come back with several arrows, they have one of them's dragging a bow behind them. And
Yes.
as the last one, then this is the littlest one with the bow. Like all the other ones have like little stacks of arrows, and the littlest one is pulling a bow. As it kind of like flops onto the boat, an arrow kind of topples over it, or bow topples over it. You kind of push off of the water and begin to slowly drift towards the opening of Silver Springs. Not the portal, but Silver Springs itself. Which you guys are very familiar with. You had to travel through the winding rivers of Silver Springs to get here, and now you're just going to retake that area. We'll
Cricket
zoom
has
back
no
to-
idea where he is.
Great. Yeah,
I
you
don't
sure
really
do.
Yeah, so I'm just like,
Hell yeah! And as we'll get some coloration on your next turn as you approach. As we head back to the center of town, you guys are now surrounded by the screaming individuals. Now kind of calmed as there is no enemies in the vicinity, but you heard the rattles throughout the city itself.
Yeah.
So talk to me about what this might look like. What precautions are you taking? What is your thought process for guarding civilians and children? Talk to me.
Yeah, so I'm up on that ramparts up there, so I'd probably be like looking over into the next street over
Hells yeah.
to kind of see if there's like any.
Yeah, I want to be like backing up, looking at
People.
you, like nodding, like, "Hey, good shit,
Yeah.
good shit." Like, we
I'm
did it to him, yeah.
you're like Timon and Pumbaa.
Like football players just smack each other's butts.
I'm doing myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we were surrounded by a bunch of civilians. Neither of us, like, none of us knew that any of us were like fighters. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's just kind of like, stuff pops off. We just like action. You know what I mean? So I'm like, good on,
Okay,
good on you.
I know I can rely.
Yeah,
on you.
yeah.
I know I can rely. I found another one.
Yeah. So I would like to be like ushering those people through. If he's given me like the go ahead,
Yeah.
like kind of.
Do I see anything in the streets, up on the roofs? Obviously, there
So
were up high
can we
before.
get his perspective on the fire, or like on top of that bridge near the fire pit? And if he's looking over the edge behind him, show him what he's able to see, but only if thank you, Ryan.
Okay.
That's perfect.
So I'm pretty new to town. So do I
Sure.
know what's up that way?
You know that is where the docks are located. And directly in front, you may even be able to see there's a boat out there.
Okay, so I can see that the waterfront is that way.
Correct.
Some boats.
Correct. There's a larger boat that you passed coming into town that was midway through town. And
Okay.
then there are smaller boats at the front of town near where the entrance of the river is.
And then if I look the other way,
The other way, a mountainous range. If you turned around behind you.
But no
this
enemies.
was no enemies.
sweet. So I'd probably like lean over the other side and be like, I don't see anybody immediately out there. I'm pretty quick. I can run down, kind of do a little bit of scouting and shout back and kind of make certain there's no ambushes.
Yeah.
What if you stayed up there, right? And I came through the door
Okay.
and stood like guarding where that dead guy is,
Yeah.
and have them run that way.
Run
No,
forward.
the other way, other way.
Perfect.
No, turn me around. I'm going,
This
That
way
way?
is not where the boats are located.
right. I'm making
Okay,
sure that no one comes from the back end, and he's watching them
Smart.
run through.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, and I'll
Steps
run
up.
along the top of the wall and on top of the buildings, I guess. I don't know
Like
if
a
you can.
Oh.
Well, that's pretty
You
tall.
can. Wait, before you show him that, roll me a dexterity saving throw. please.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, an athletics or acrobatics check. Let's do that instead.
I think we're gonna go with athletics. Yeah. You go with that. That is a 21.
Oh man, I mean,
Ooh.
adeptly, you hop up on the edge, and now you're standing, and you see directly on the other side on a rock. Can you show him that angle of the snake?
Okay.
who was kind of waiting for people to turn that corner as he releases a bow in your direction. Roll initiative for me.
Absolutely. That is 13.
A natural 20 for
Oof.
my guy.
You're
I wish
probably
that was
gonna
be
on the-
one-on-one.
I wish that was on the attack.
You're probably going to be.
So we're going to roll an attack to see if that arrow hits. 15 on the die plus numbers. That's going to hit you.
I have a 16.
Yeah, plus 4, I believe it
Yeah.
is, or if not, plus 5. I'll take a look.
Just it.
Perfect. It's a plus 4 just for future reference. And you were hit before, correct?
I was.
Great. As it hits you for 4 points of damage
Great.
into your side. And that will end its turn. It'll go to you, and then we'll get you guys to act in the next round
Yeah.
of shits.
Do I have a full turn?
You do have full turn.
Okay. So I'm going to call back and be like, there's a bit of an ambush up here. And then I'm guessing I look pretty far.
Do you want to roll a perception check for me, please? Not against anything, because you're just so high up in the air.
Not amazing. It's going to be a 10.
No, the one in front of you is the one that you see. Go ahead and continue your turn.
Yeah, and so... Sorry, the screen's a little hard to see.
Yeah, that light is blurry.
Which is dark. You could shine some extra light, and we can tell you some more information. We can make it light right now. Do you have dark vision?
I do have dark vision.
Okay, great. What are you curious about? And
Well-
I'll tell you as much information as I can.
Actually, that's much better there, Ryan. At least for me.
It's pretty
Yeah.
indifferent back here, but
Yeah.
Mainly, I'm just trying to figure out like what's the safest way to get down there. How far am I from this guy? Like, am I going to be able to get to him and attack him? You know, and
Dude, just do the 300 thing.
yeah, double scimitar. Yeah.
Double scimitar.
Brian, can you get us an exact
Fight
amount?
with your heart. not
I think
your
you're
mind.
about 45 feet. Yeah, 45 feet.
Okay.
Good job, dude.
Do you do the rules cool at all?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to roll high.
Can
but
I
yes.
jump
Scar
and 300 him?
I mean, 300.
Hell yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try to jump 300 him.
Awesome. And we'll say that this is all in. This is okay. So, from your previous location on the
Yeah.
side, as you're kind of working out this plan, you're like, oh, I'm going to run up there and head up to the top.
Absolutely.
You kind of stride along the side of the wall, 1 foot, 2nd foot, 3rd foot. See this thing getting ready to release an arrow. You yell back, a bit of an ambush, as
Yeah.
you look forward and just miss the arrow. No, you get hit
No,
by the arrow.
I did get hit.
Yeah, you get hit with the arrow, and it's still in motion. Go for yours. So I'm gonna need a dexterity saving throw because it is a much further jump and it's kind of heading down. So let's roll a
Okay.
dexterity saving throw first.
Saving throw. And the best one that I could have. That's a 14.
That's good. That's good.
Okay.
Now roll me my attack.
Okay.
And see how these cooperate with each other.
Hey, remember your wristband.
I'm guessing 11 doesn't.
It does not hit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come
The
on.
power of Thalian doors within you.
It feels
There's
worse.
a 12.
That's not it.
No. Is there?
I want this to happen, baby.
Come on.
Come on!
You sunk so much into it.
Do I use a different one? Yeah, different dice.
You can't roll bad 3
This
times in a
one?
row, guys.
Come on.
No, okay.
Nope.
Okay, do it again,
Nope.
do it again, do it again, do it again.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Okay.
Yeah!
Thank you.
You go ahead and color this out for me.
Yeah. So got that double-bladed scimitar. I'm gonna try to like just pull spear him down right into the chest,
Sure.
just all the way through to the ground.
If you what's your damage you're rolling?
It's 2d4 plus 12.
All right. If you roll 7 or higher in damage, he's pinned to the rock.
Come on.
That is 7.
Into the lower half of the tail is now pincered into the stone. And as long as you leave your blade there, it'll be stuck. I'm not saying you want to leave your blade there, but if you wanted to. You can feel like where normally you would pull it out immediately.
Yeah.
You feel resistance. You're like, oh, shit.
Did I use up my bonus action in that? There was a lot that happened.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So fair.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Freaking love it though. Absolutely incredible.
I really hope they're
Had
fast
you not,
enough.
had you not given me 2 inspirations, you would have gotten an inspiration.
That was inspirational,
Sorry, sir. Freaking love it though. Cole. So we're no longer in. Oh no, we are in combat as he is not dead yet. He's just pinned to the rock.
Yeah.
As he called behind, what would be your 2 kind of reactions to this? And then based on that, I'm going to assign you an initiative order.
So I
Unless
was
you
like,
guys have competing thought processes.
I would grab whoever is like, because I assume people are like running behind me. I would
Yeah. Sure.
I would try to grab who's ever in front to like stop them and like pull them back so that I can go first and then
Understood.
go
Yeah.
forward in front of all of them to kind of like lead the charge there.
Cool.
And I would probably use my movement to get as close to him. If I heard there's an ambush, I'm gonna try to be in the
screaming in
combat
that direction.
immediately.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cole, talk to me about what you're up to at this moment, buddy.
Drinking.
You find
Looking
He's
at the
established
bottom of the
very
glass.
clear.
you
Yeah.
find a couple satchels of booze.
Yeah.
Now the one you find is not glass anymore. Like this is like a plopping like
Sack.
what do they call it? A wine
Oh,
skin?
okay.
Yeah.
It's a plot armor bottle of booze for you.
I love it. He takes out his knife and punctures it.
Shoots through the bag.
Nope.
I guess to start, I'm just gonna. How's the crowd looking?
Before this moment of ambush, and now you hear up in the front, you hear Nicholas kind of so halt as he pulls people, and you hear his armor kind of trotting in the direction of where you saw the Leonin kind of
All this leather
and
noise.
that's about what you see. And you see a crowd of people kind of huddling outside the gate, inside the gate, just like murmuring back and forth to each other. Is afraid.
I don't think there's any way that I can get within range to actually see this thing. With a crowd of people in the way.
You could leap the wall. If you like, if like in your mind, you were like, I must get to whatever this thing is. I believe that this wall that's directly in front of you
Mm-hmm.
is traversable.
Would I assume that these things have a connection to the thing that I?
Fudge, yeah.
Okay.
Big time.
I'm gonna get some answers here. And I finish the wine sack, and then I go after the wall.
Perfect. And you scale the wall. Roll me an athletics or acrobatics check.
Acrobatics.
Is there a disadvantage for being so
19.
absolutely sure?
I feel like when he's
Wasted?
sober, he'll be at disadvantage.
Yes.
Funny.
19.
19, definitely. I love it.
Oh my
Later on, as
gosh,
a party,
that's
if we
funny.
see him like doing terribly, we're like, here,
Yep.
alcohol. Do better.
Do I see the pin snake?
You do see the pin snake. Actually, literally, as you crest the top, you see the landing happen and the piercing. You even see the rock kind of all the way down.
Ooh.
Cool. Roll me an attack.
Math. 15.
15 hits. Roll some damage.
Alright, I can sneak attack, right?
Yeah.
10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. And it is completely dead as it's pierced through the chest and falls to the ground. Your blade now kind of loosing out of it.
Damn it. I
As,
wasn't trying to kill it.
as we zoom back over to you, your
I have a bonus action, so.
what is your bonus action?
Do I see the other one? Or no?
You do not see the other one.
Okay, then I won't use my bonus.
So very sorry.
Okay.
As you turn the corner, you see a bolt from the side. Roll a perception check for me. As you come out this corner, where's Nico's character?
I got him.
Perfect.
This is a super cool program.
Plus 3.
Just gotta say it again.
Wait till we know how to use it.
I played a lot of
16
D&D.
total.
and I see
Hell
the
yeah.
value
You
of
see
it.
this happen. You see the bolt kind of going across your vision, and directly behind the bolt, about midway through flight, you clock another snake guy kind of
Ooh.
angling out his bow, as you can see now on camera.
Yeah.
Of course.
Snake
What
guy.
am I, camera guy?
Just making sure.
I'm like good at my job.
You are very much so.
Thank you.
Generation Media, schedule your appointment today.
Seamless plug.
Shameless.
How
Very.
far away is that?
Oh, it's a good
I think you're definitely within
11 times 5. What is that?
55.
Yeah, 50. 11 times 5?
Yep.
Okay, 55 feet.
So you could sprint to him using up an action.
Throw your sword.
No, I have javelins.
Oh,
No.
nice.
I don't know how far. How far?
30
can
feet.
you
You
throw a
could
javelin?
definitely throw a javelin.
Oh.
Oh, 30 feet, so you'd have to
Thir- 30 feet, not disadvantage. 120 feet max distance.
Mm.
Or 150 feet max distance.
So little insight on me as a person, like
Sure.
as a human being. I'm terrible at throwing things.
Love it.
like absolutely abysmal at throwing anything.
All right.
Like
so
there
you
can
got
be a
this.
trash can right there. I'll throw a water bottle in the trash can, miss it entirely.
Love it.
So
So
I'm
in
just
character,
as like
always disadvantage. Is what you're
yes.
saying?
So I'm not throwing javelin.
Not gonna
I'm
happen.
behind him and he hits
Yeah.
Trust me, I was
Right,
right.
just
So I just want to call that guy out to
Okay, beautiful.
alert
Okay.
Lion Man and
Lion
the
Man.
drunk fire dude.
Yeah.
And
Accurate description.
yeah, and I'm just gonna sprint over to that guy. I'm out of like spell slots. I can't. do
Great.
anything
You're gonna move your
crazy.
entire movement plus your action as you're jolting, so you get your 60 feet of movement.
Right.
Perfect. You can get directly to him. You can even get up that little ledge with your character if you wanted. Right there is where you get. Oh, thank you, Ryan. You can put him up on top of there.
My ceiling. You want to go up?
Eventually, we'll. Here, let me do it pretty easy. Let him go. Oh, and it won't now. Perfect. You can rearrange him if you'd like.
Can I like bonus action tackle him?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Sure.
I thought it was a stretch
Shoot
anyway.
him.
you could give him a
No.
mean look.
Turn is over.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Cool. Yep, understood.
Stick
But
out
you're
your
now in
tongue
front.
at
If you had any other, you couldn't tackle him, but if there's any other thing you may want to learn about or know before we end your turn, that's perfectly fine in my
Can I push his bow as he's drawing it?
Roll a against him. Roll a sleight of hand versus a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Big money, no whammies. 12.
6 on the die. He will be at disadvantage for his shot.
Sick.
Love it.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
And
Get that bullshit out of
that
here.
will go to the snake guy, as he is originally aimed at the person flying in the air, attacking his friend, and then you
poof. Hello.
sprint, yeah, and you kind of push his bow, and instead of shooting him, he's going to shoot you
Mhm.
within 5 feet, so at disadvantage. Anyways, I love it. Works perfectly fine, and for the narrative.
It's okay, because if he fired at range with an enemy within 5 feet, he had disadvantage.
Exactly, that's what I just said. A 10 on the die and a 3 on the die is he will miss, and an arrow scoots past your head. And you see the snake start to rattle, a different rattle than before. And this one sounds like cicada. And you hear through town. Much less than you have heard before.
Sick. I think that sounds like a retreat.
And you guys see out of the torches nearby, kind of billowing smoke start to, and it just catches all of your attention. This is from everybody in the town. The smoke starts to go up to the sky, and a face is made out of the smoke. And the face is a cloaked snake creature. As he looks down at all of this town, and his tongue comes out purple, and he removes a little bit of the cloak to reveal his full face. As you scream into the sky to no one.
Bring back the other guy! I have questions!
And I look down in the water and I see a mermaid and a manatee swimming side by side.
Just like that, yes. That will throw poop at you.
And they are not nice.
They will, they'll hover
Shut
over
up.
you
No-
in your
no
canoe.
way.
This is not a joke. Go kayaking.